little trivia like we've never done trivia before. We're not going to look to the past. We're going to look to the future. Let me go and get everything synced in here together so I can see who all's here. There's that. We'll mute that. We'll throw up a little love for ourselves. Throw that up there. And we'll share this puppy out. Booyah. There we go. We are there. We'll give it, 13 minutes. And we'll get this puppy started. Hey, KG, good to see you, love. You call me a handsome devil. Doggone it. You gonna make me blush. Or you're gonna make my photon torpedo prematurely go off. I'm not really sure which one, but I mean, you know. Hey, Tony. Good to see you, bud. Hope you had a good Friday. Let me get everything pulled forward here so I got room for this tablet and stuff. We're good. Is that proof that, yeah, she called me a handsome devil, so obviously there's some deceit going on in there because, you know, we all know the truth. Oh, you're fine, Jan. Don't worry about it. I was just watching her again too, up until I mean, right when I started, almost at 7:01. So, oh man, let me see here. Let me see here. Well, it says we got 7 watching. We got 4 in the chat now. Hey, Templar, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well this evening. Tonight, this green is Aldebaran whiskey. I just wish I had a little bit of Everclear to put in it. Used to be back in the days of the really big Star Trek conventions and stuff. They would take Ecto Cooler, green high C Ecto Cooler, and mix it with Everclear, and that was Aldebaran whiskey. Um, Diabetics in the 23rd century personally like Diet Fago Moon Mist because it has no carbs in it. Dude, Romulan L will knock you on your butt. I've been with some Trekkies before they don't make synthahol. They make straight up God. And Klingon blood wine, even worse. Jay's on his way home and we can eat. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm not gonna eat till after the show. The wife had to take Grandma up to her cousin's for the weekend since we were gonna be gone, and she's not back yet. So I told her I would just eat when the show was over. Oh, you want me to bring you some moonshine? Sure. I'll never pass up moonshine. It is a way to get unplanned children. It's also a good way to kill your seed so you can't have any more children. JJ, we have, I think I can make it. Reading up on my new TV. How's it coming, Templar? Have you found the power button yet? If you can find the power button, you can do anything. Ooh. Apple pie, apricot. I like those fruity ones like that. Blueberry. I'm doing that pirate encampment, uh, river pirate encampment at the end of this month, and they put on the message board today, hey, who wants me to bring blueberry mead? And it's like, oh, you just won my heart and my belly, girl. I will gladly take blueberry mead. Actually still in the box. Watching Justified just before having apple pie. That sounds good. The kind you eat with a fork or the kind you drink out of a cup? Which kind of apple pie did you have? Yummy, yummy. I will do that apple pie, girl. Oh, man. What a day. I did not have such. Oh, okay. Watch Justified before having the apple pie. I got you. I got done this morning with the stream. Of course, I went and put up the George Washington video, cleared the phone out, and automatically went to work on Monday's video. Got it completely done. Got it saved up to put up Monday after the stream. Getting easier and easier. Mags Bennett used apple pie shine to poison people. Huh. I used to have a friend that she's passed on now. But every time that we done an event together, she would probably bring 4 or 5 gallons of homemade apple pie. And all weekend long. In her non-rendezvous in life, she was a biker. Her and her old man were both bikers. In her rendezvous in life, she still lived the life of a biker and constantly drank apple pie. I don't even want to venture to guess how many gallons of apple pie she made a year, because it was her favorite drink. So that's all she made. And I mean, this was sweet, cinnamony apple. It would get you in trouble. I'm just glad she was not the molestering kind of person, because I don't know how many times I woke up sitting in my chair still underneath her dining fly out in front of her tent with probably 10 or 12 other people just all passed out around the fire pit, laying on the table, sitting in the chairs, laying on the ground under a table. Oh, those ornery younger days. Me either, Jan. I can't wait either. The days are slowly but surely tick-tocking away. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it right there. You just hit that forged square head nail right on. Yep, you did it. It's kind of hard to believe this has been married twice. I mean, it's really honestly not changed in the last 50 years. I mean, besides this. But all this, you've seen it long. It used to be longer. At one point in time, my hair was down to the center of my back. It was all nice and dark. Um, I had a real nice dark brown, full, shaggy goatee. And then age caught up with me and stuck it in and snapped it off. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, there went that. Oh, you're fine. 3 minutes to go, y'all. I'm going to power this puppy up. See where we are at. We're going to skip that first question because it is hard. Getting older does suck. You are correct on that. Getting older does suck. But it's something we all do. It's a constant in the universe. Regardless of what you do to try to hold off that demon, no matter what you do to try to mask its effects on you, time, that is one companion I could do without. Well, let's see here. Look, says we got 8 folks in here chatting with us right now. We have got less than a minute till we start the questions. These are some pretty good ones. I went through 4 or 5 different um, trivia quizzes today. And it's like, ha 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 ha. Oh, your ankle is doing better? Good. Good. I sort of say it won't be that much longer before you're up hopping around the house. Oh, we'll call it hobbling. You'll be able to put a little bit of weight on it, but it's still going to be, oh, oh, oh. Oh, tell me about it, bud. Tell me about it. I was sitting here and it's like, okay, 15 minutes to go. And I ran in the bedroom and started putting CBD ointment on my knees and both my thighs and the back of my knees and stuff because they were hurting. Oh dear God, they were hurting. It's like, oh please Lord, just make them fall off. I'll be a snail. I'll belly around everywhere. It won't hurt me. But all right, guys, it is that time. It's a quarter after. It's time to get this here fired up. Maybe one of these days I'll be able to afford one of those mixing boards where I can put different music and stuff in it. Because, well, there's only one way to do this, and that's with the real cute little, Star Trek symbol. Down, 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 down. And I ain't got none of that shit. Y'all know me. I'm a poor white boy. But anyway, Question number 1. In the series' first aired episode, The Man Trap, although the crew only ever refers to this monster as the Creature, in the episode itself, fans generally call it by the name of the substance which it craved, the blank monster. Actually, I found out, Tony, I was just watching a dedication to Nichelle Nichols a little bit ago, and they were playing the theme song to the last Classic Crew movie with no copyright strike. They would patch the song in different places that it went together without playing the whole song. It is the Salt Monster. Good job, Tony. It is the Salt Monster. In the episode Journey to Babel, we are introduced to Spock's parents. His father is Sarek of Vulcan. His mother is an Earth woman named Amanda Grayson. Which actress played Spock's mother? In the Season 2 episode Journey to Babel, we are introduced to Spock's parents. His father is Sarek of Vulcan. His mother is an Earth woman named Amanda Grayson. Which actress played Spock's mother? I will give you a hint since you guys are chewing at the bit right now. Her first name starts with the letter J. Hey, BS. Good to see you. Jane is her first name. What was her last name? It is actually not Jane Wyman, but you're close. It is Jane Wyatt. Jane Wyatt played Amanda Grayson, Spock's mother, in Season 2, Journey to Babel. It is Jane Wyatt. That's an easy question, but you guys deserve an easy one on occasion. What is the registry number to the original USS Enterprise? What is the registry number to the original USS Enterprise? It is NCC 1701. Which, by the way, I don't know how many of you guys watch Star Trek Picard, but I have been watching the behind the scenes and different Trek channels, and there is video out now of the updated Enterprise coming in the next season, plus several crew members that, let's just say, Picard spent a few years with on the D. In the episode Balance of Terror, there is a battle between the Enterprise and Romulan bird of prey. When the Romulan commander realizes that he's about to lose, he tries an unconventional move. What does he do? In the episode Balance of Terror, there's a battle between the Enterprise and a Romulan bird of prey. When the Romulan commander realizes that he's about to lose, he tries an unconventional move. What does he do? Loads junk in the tube and launches it. You know, it could almost be considered relics. I don't know if I'd call it junk or not, but it could be considered a relic in the 23rd century. Along with the body of the Centurion. Nope, lost me on that one. Actually, I don't know if I would consider it being loading a relic in there or loading an antique in there. No, he did not shoot a 54 Buick. The nuke too. That's what I was looking for. He loaded a nuclear bomb in his torpedo tube and launched a nuclear bomb. Zefram Cochrane was the inventor of warp drive. In what episode did he first appear along with his companion? Zefram Cochrane was the inventor of warp drive. In what episode did he first appear along with his companion? It was not warp drive. It was not Galileo 7. A lot of people believe that Zefram Cochrane did not make an appearance on Star Trek until Star Trek First Contact, but he actually, different actor of course, appeared as Zefram Cochrane in the original series. What was the name of that episode? Oh, everybody is so quiet. So quiet. You are either thinking really hard or your fingers are moving a mile a minute trying to get Google to give you that answer. But I'm not going to give Google a chance. That episode was called Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. I know nothing. Shit. The episode Mirror Mirror has certain members of the crew switch places with their counterparts in an alternate or mirror universe. Which of these characters did not switch places? In the episode Mirror Mirror has certain members of the crew switch places with their counterparts in an alternate or mirror universe. Which of these characters did not switch places? Hey, Jay. Good to see you, bud. No, it was not Scotty. He actually did switch places with his mirrored duplicate. Spock did not trade places with his mirrored counterpart. Spock is the only one who did not trade places. The premise behind that was Captain Kirk, Scotty, Uhura, and Dr. McCoy somehow get transported to this mirror universe when transporting up from the Halkan planet. They soon realize something is amiss when they see a goateed Spock torture the transporter operator for carelessness. Leonard Nimoy did look really good in that episode with the goatee. Good evening, Terry. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well tonight. Our first officer is Lieutenant Junior Grade Joe Tomlin. At the end of his life, he became convinced that man was not meant to be in space. How did this depressed young man die? Our first officer is Lieutenant Junior Grade Joe Tomlin. At the end of his life, he became convinced that man was not meant to be in space. How did this depressed young man die? He did not stab himself. It was not suicide. He was not scrambled in the transporter either. His death was purely an accident, but there was no devices or weapons involved in it. That'll make you think. Oh, and by the way, the episode was called The Naked Time. The Naked Time was the name of that episode. He did not suffocate. He just dies in sick bay. Yeah, he pretty much just died in sick bay. after stabbing himself. No, there was no weapons involved. I'll let you guys off the hook. Lieutenant Junior Grade Tomlinson touched an alien liquid and caught an infection off of it. That's why he was convinced man did not belong in space. That was if you put all of that stuff together that you guys are saying right now, that's a pretty elaborate suicide right there. He he touched an infected alien liquid in the crew lounge, then stabbed himself, was transported to sick bay where he later died. Or some shit like that. I'm just kidding, I don't know. What is Chekhov's full name? What is Chekhov's full name? When I was young, my uncle and I built a model of the Enterprise. My uncle would play volleyball with us. If the ball went into the neighbor's yard, he would give it back, so my uncle would zap him with the model Enterprise. No, not his real name. Chekhov's. Yeah, there we go. Pavel Andreevich. Pavel Andreevich Chekhov. You guys made it through the first page pretty well. What was Dr. McCoy's medical diagnosis on why a bullet in the chest did not kill Spock? What was Dr. McCoy's medical diagnosis on why a bullet in the chest did not kill Spock? Hey, Jim. Good to see you, my friend. How you doing today? I will accept that, Tony. I will accept that answer. His heart was not where a human heart normally is. The Vulcan heart is located where the human liver is at. Yeah, exactly. You know, you have to look in the lexicon, but yeah, exactly. I can't remember any of this stuff. I damaged too many brain cells. They did have a good time. All good, hand hurts. Had to weed eat my 200-foot long hill at the road. Oh, ouch. I still watch it, Tony. I still watch it. I have access to every Trek series ever made. Which warring cousin to the Vulcans is the Federation separated by with the neutral zone? Which warring cousin to the Vulcans is the Federation separated by the neutral zone? It is the Romulans. Good job. What is James Kirk's middle name? What is James Kirk's middle name? He was named after his mother's dad. It is Tiberius. Good job, guys. I never realized Tony was this big of a Trek fan. I am shocked and quite honestly pleased. I had no clue that Tony was this big of a Trek fan. Hey, Paul. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good today, buddy. Oh, I do too. I love the original series. That's the one I grew up on. There was no Next Generation, I think, until my senior year in high school. Junior or senior year. So the original series was all I had. In the episode City on the Edge of Forever, one of my favorites, by the way, Joan Collins has two possible fates. One is her death. The other is what? In the episode City on the Edge of Forever, Joan Collins has two possible fates. One is her death, the other is what? Oh, I know, Jan. I know. Well, you figure Trek came out 2 years before I was born. So it came out in 66. I was born in 68. Paul destroying the world politically. Becoming ugly. Wait. The world politically in the alternate. No, she didn't destroy the world from her political beliefs. I can remember these answers because I saw every episode at least 5 times. You know, Tony, I'm going to go on. I'm going to give that to you. I'm going to go on and give that to you. Basically, in her original life, she died. And Kirk was doing his best to keep her from dying because she became world famous due to her fame in the peace movement, which ultimately did cause the destruction of, I believe, the entire United States government or something like that. And when she got ready to run out into the road, he tried to stop her, and McCoy grabbed him and kept him from stopping her, and she wound up getting hit by the truck and dying, as she did in her original timeline. So, yeah, I remember these episodes too. How many seasons did the original series run? How many seasons did the original series run? Hey, Carrie. Sasquatch has roofing material. Yep, I need to rewatch that then because I remember McCoy being sick, and he even had enough hump left to grab Kirk because Kirk was in love with her. So I'll have to. I remember it that way, but I will definitely watch that episode again. Matter of fact, I might watch it tonight after the wife goes to bed. Instead of flipping on South Park or American Dad, I might flip on TOS. Let me see here. It's been forever since I've seen the show. 357 in syndication. It was 3 seasons. The show lived for 3 seasons. Going next door to accost my neighbor for her amigo. There you go. Have fun with that. This lovely 19-year-old blonde attempted to kill Kirk and others in order to protect her father from being exposed as the planet's former leader who initiated a massacre that killed thousands. This lovely 19-year-old blonde attempted to kill Kirk and others in order to protect her father from being exposed as a planet's former leader who initiated a massacre that killed thousands. Who was she? Stupidest cancellation in TV history. 3 seasons required to go to syndication. And the conventions of what saved Star Trek. The episode was Conscience of the King. Yes, what is her name? You are correct on the title, though. It was Conscious of the King, and yes, her name was Lenore. Her name was Lenore. And by the way, you had Suzanne Summers, Jay had Suzanne Summers. It was actually a woman by the name of Barbara Anderson. Barbara Anderson played Lenore Caridian. The actress's name was Barbara Anderson. Discovered a vintage Crosman pump single shot 77 pistol I didn't know I had, was in Loaded Guns I got. A dead client, it's cool and actually new. Wow. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Yeah. Ironsides. In the episode, and this is one of people's favorite episodes, in the episode Trouble with Tribbles, Chekhov claimed that quadrotriticale was a Russian invention. But from what country could that grain actually be traced? Quadrotriticale is a 4-lobed hybrid grain derived from wheat and rye, by the way. But in Trouble with Tribbles, Chekhov claimed that it was a Russian invention, but it actually came from another country. What country is it? Still giving phone. I may get one since I'm unemployed technically. There you go. It is Canada. It actually comes from Canada. Good job, Tony. In the episode Enemy Within, what is Scotty doing for the first time that you can see that his finger is missing? In the episode The Enemy Within, what is Scotty doing for the first time that you can clearly see his finger is missing? Yes, James Doohan was missing a finger. They very seldom ever showed his hands, except for this very first time, he was operating the transporter. He was operating the transporter, and you could see that his finger was missing. Jim Ronald Reagan started that program before, of course, the landline phone back then. Hey, Ian. Good to see you, bud. In what episode of the original series did we first see the SS Botany Bay? In what episode in the original series did we first see the SS Botany Bay? I'd heard that too, Carrie, that he was a sniper in World War II, James Doohan, and that he had lost that finger as a sniper. In what episode of the original series are we first introduced to the SS Botany Bay? Yeah. That, however, was the second movie. That was the second movie, but it was originally introduced during the series in the episode, and Tony just got it, Space Seed. When they launched Khan and all of his people into space. What Class M planet? What Class M planet are we introduced to in the episode This Side of Paradise? I might have watched a few of these. Yeah, you might have. What Class M planet are we introduced to in the episode This Side of Paradise? Tribbles were very cool. Tribbles were very cool. Somewhere around here in a tote, I have a Tribble. Not quite sure where, but I have a Tribble. No, it was not Eden. This planet was inhabited by colonists for about 3 years. It was believed that they had all died due to constant exposure to Berthold radiation, but a mysterious spore prevented their deaths. Stepping onto Eden, brethren, repeat until the director says cut. This script sucks. So does your acting. Now sing it. I'm done. Anyone else? There's got to be a clue I can give you. There's got to be a clue. The first name of the planet, or I should say the planet shared its first name with last year's variant of the virus. The planet shared its first name with last year's variant of the virus. Killer goulash. Love me some goulash. Doubled up on garlic. There you go. I believe Bronson's wife was in that episode. I think she was. The first name of the planet was Omicron. It is not Omicron Persei. Wrong sci-fi show. Wrong sci-fi show. It was Omicron Ceti 3. Omicron Ceti 3. How the hell do you upside down question mark? What popular Star Trek cast member was originally approached to play the role of Spock? What Star Trek cast member was originally approached to play the role of Spock? What original Star Trek cast member was originally approached to play Spock? Yeah, she wasn't in for the part. She just read the part until Nimoy was found for it. It was not James Doohan. Hey, Wook. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good tonight. It was not Patrick. It was not Patrick. These are all these questions are from the original series. Believe it or not, the man who is famous for saying that green-blooded hobgoblin, yep, DeForest Kelley was originally contacted to play Spock. It was DeForest Kelley. Grace Lee Whitney would have made an interesting Vulcan. Yes, sir, Carrie. Your totem. In the episode The Cage, what color were number one's nails painted? In the episode The Cage, what color were number one's nails painted? He said, I'm not an alien. Damn it, Jim, I'm not an alien, I'm a doctor. They were not black. They were not green. In the episode The Cage, what were number one's nails painted? And Spock was not number one in that episode. Majel Barrett was number one in that episode. This was before she played Nurse Chapel. Hey, Fishing, good to see you, bud. Hope you had a good week so far. I know you still got a couple more days before your week's over and you get to start your extended weekend, but I hope the week's been good so far. Not green, not pink, not blue. Yes, The Cage was made from the original pilot. Yep, pre-Kirk. This is when Christopher Pike was still captain of the Enterprise. You are right, Terry. Majel Barrett's fingernails were painted purple when she played number one in The Cage. They were painted purple. Really good guess. Really good guess. What was the name of the leader of the Kelvins in the episode By Any Other Name? What was the name of the leader of the Kelvins in the episode By Any Other Name? I don't know how well that would have showed up in the show. Apparently, it was a very prominent purple. But that is a good question, Tony. That's a very good question. What was the name of the leader of the Kelvins in the episode By Any Other Name? What was Starfleet modeled on? Starfleet was modeled on the United States Navy as it stands in the 20th, 21st century, up until the thermogenic wars in 2063, which brought on the Third World War and Yeah. No, up until 2053. And then Zefram Cochrane launched the ship in 2063, ushering in warp speed. The thermogenic wars in World War III lasted 20 years. 6 billion dead. All the world's governments destroyed. The original working title was Wagon Train to the Stars. I remember reading that. I only know most weirdest obscuria about Star Trek. What was the name of the leader of the Kelvins in the episode By Any Other Name? His name was Rohan. Rohan was the leader of the Kelvins in the episode By Any Other Name. I don't know. I didn't like that episode. Well, here's an episode that everybody liked. Something very unusual happened. Kirk fell in love with an alien. I know that didn't happen very often, but in this episode, Kirk was forced to sacrifice her. And he uttered that famous line, "Let's get the hell out of here." What was the name of the episode? Yeah, he was especially like the Orion slave girls. My IQ is not going up. Probably lost a few points. In what episode did Kirk utter the famous line, "Let's get the hell out of here"? The blue chick was hot. Would have done it. Kirk uttered that famous line, "Let's get the hell out of here," in the episode City on the Edge of Forever. Usually they're green. The blue ones are the ones that's got the white hair with the little blue antennas that come up. We are introduced to Christine Chapel in the 4th episode of Season 1, The Naked Time. It is apparent early on that she has feelings for Mr. Spock and even admits that she loves him. When she found out that Spock was married, what did she plan to do? We are introduced to Christine Chapel in the episode The Naked Time. It's apparent early on she has feelings for Mr. Spock and even admits at one time she loves him. When she found out that Spock was married, what did she say she was going to do? I can't. Well, maybe. I don't know if I got Instagram on this phone or not. Ah, okay. So it was the Coast Guard and not the U.S. Navy. Gotcha. Screw the producer, get her own goddamn show. No. Hey, Adam. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. When Christine Chapel found out that Spock had a wife back on Vulcan, she planned to kill herself. She planned to kill herself. Now, here's one for you, and this actually goes with what they're working on right now for space exploration. What powered Federation starships? What powered Federation starships? In the 23rd century. Like I said, they're currently working on this technology right now, but they haven't, not even close to getting it to work. The tears of Star Wars fans. Dilithium crystals actually did not power the ships in the original series. They were powered by matter-antimatter reactors. The Klingon ships were powered by dilithium, but Federation ships are matter-antimatter reactors. The tears of Star Wars fans. I love it. This is why I do what I do. In the episode Where No Man Has Gone Before, Captain Kirk battles a godlike Gary Mitchell. Mitchell, with a motion of his hand, creates a grave for Kirk. What was the inscription on the headstone? In the episode Where No Man Has Gone Before, Captain Kirk battles a godlike Gary Mitchell. Mitchell, with a motion of his hand, creates a grave for Kirk. What was the inscription on the headstone? It was James R. Kirk. It was James R. Kirk. What odd happening? What odd happening occurred in the episode Spectre of the Gun? It actually was not pre-Tiberius. It was a mistake. It's the only time R is seen as his middle initial. What odd happening occurred in the episode Spectre of the Gun? Of course, it was an illusion, alien controlled. Chekov died. Chekov died. That is absolutely correct. Chekov gets killed. Shoot out the OK Corral. That was it. I wonder what the R stood for. I know his middle name was Tiberius. Yep. In the episode Trouble with Tribbles, one of the space station's visitors is revealed to be a Klingon spy. Which one is it? In the episode Trouble with Tribbles, one of the space station's visitors is revealed to be a Klingon spy. Which one is it? What was Mr. Laurie's assistant's name? The one with the butt on his head. Nope. Definitely need a name here. Definitely need a name. The one with the butt on his head. No, it wasn't Larry. Nope, not Mo either. But you're getting closer. Yeah, this was the pre-Butthead Klingons. This was the ones that looked human, but Yeah. No, it wasn't Curly either. His name was Arne Darvin. Arne Darvin. Arvid Darvin. Yeah, Arne Darvin. Arvid Darvin. Arvid. Ah, yes, the one true simp. Crewman Green's death was not noticed immediately. Why did it take the Enterprise crew some time to realize he was dead? Crewman Green's death was not noticed immediately. Why did it take the Enterprise crew some time to realize he was dead? The salt monster assumed his form. That is right, Tony. Oh, her. His roommate weekend at Bernie's. Him. Yep, they tied strings around his ankles, slung his arms over their shoulders, and still walked around the ship with him till he began to smell. What year was Chekhov born? What year was Chekhov born? Nope, just a little late there. Just a little late. He was actually born in 2245. He was 17 when he joined the crew of the Enterprise. Uhura was born in 2237. Sulu was born in 2236. And Kirk was born in 2233. 2245. What is a Horta? What is a Horta? Yeah, and Spock was somewhere around 2140. Once again, in the original Omicron, or the original Necrocon, a Vulcan couldn't even leave the planet until they were 90. Got to run now, need food and a shower. Have a great night. You too, Adam. You take care of yourself. Have a good weekend, bud. We'll see you next week. What is a Horta? Somebody said something up here a second ago. Acid secreting rock monster. Kinda, sorta, not quite. They weren't made out of rock. They were made out of something else. Yeah, they ate rocks. Yes, they were silicon. They were silicone-based life forms. Yeah, basically sand creatures that secreted an acid and ate rocks. Look at everybody working together here to get answers out. That's how it's supposed to be. Tony's pretty quick. He's really surprised me tonight. How does the Enterprise crew come to be able to defeat the entity which leads men to murder women in the episode Wolf in the Fold? How does the Enterprise crew come to be able to defeat the entity which leads men to murder women in the episode Wolf in the Fold? I don't know what I did to deserve this torture. Oh wait, I screwed her sister. Yeah. No, it was not divorce papers. It was not happiness. How did the Enterprise crew come to be able to defeat the entity which leads men to murder women in the episode Wolf in the Fold? I'm sure she didn't crepe you. Uh-huh. Pretty sure. They were able to defeat the entity by injecting the men with tranquilizers. Yep, drugs. They injected them with tranquilizers. In the episode Atavachron, Kirk, McCoy, and Spock go through the Atavachron to a different time period. But what happens to Kirk? Kirk, McCoy, and Spock go through the Atavachron to a different time period. But what happens to Kirk? My wife did kick her. It's good though. Best cat fight ever. Jim, you ornery cuss. You'll do anything to get two women to duke it out. All right, Carrie, that's cool. I tried to stop it and got a nut. Ow. Man, just hearing that makes my tummy rumble. Acid reflux my ass. Kirk, McCoy, and Spock go through the Atavachron to a different time period. But what happens to Kirk? He does not become a kid. He's not claimed to be a witch. I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were. I don't remember that. Looks like I better sit down and watch the original series from first episode to last again. That's not the answer we're looking for, though. The answer we're looking for is Kirk is actually sent to a different time than McCoy and Spock. So I'm going to have to watch that episode again. Looks like I should have started making a list. Kirk ends up alone while Spock and McCoy end up in an ice age environment. Oh, for fuck's sakes. A warlock, thank you. Spock does something with his meat. Only once every 7 years when Pon farr hits. It's true. What is Dr. McCoy's whole name? First, middle, and last. What is Dr. McCoy's whole name? First, middle, and last. I was teasing. Leonard don't know the middle McCoy. What is Dr. McCoy's whole name, first, middle, and last? It was not Leonard Boner. Leonard Boner. It is Leonard H. What does the H stand for? It is Leonard H. McCoy, but what does the H stand for? It is Horatio. Dr. McCoy's full name is Leonard Horatio McCoy. Man, this one here is going to confuse a lot of people because they're going to be going through every episode in all 3 seasons trying to figure out which one, specific one they're talking about here. I just read the question and I'm like, that's a broad possibility. Serious face. In which episode does Kirk seduce a beautiful Kelvin hijacker in the line of duty? Of course. In which episode does Kirk seduce a beautiful Kelvin hijacker in the line of duty? Of course. In what episode don't Kirk seduce somebody? But still, this one here is specifically a Kelvin hijacker. By any other name. Good job, Tony. The episode was called By Any Other Name. Never Been Kissed. Kelvin Booza's name was in another question. Are we having fun yet? According to Chekhov, where was the Garden of Eden? According to Chekhov, where was the Garden of Eden? More specifically, Tony, more specifically than just Russia. Of course, you know, Chekhov is going to say the Garden of Eden was in Russia. But more specifically, where does he say the Garden of Eden was located? I guess I'll put Google on voice and hold it close to the tablet. The episode was called The Apple. The Kremlin, Leningrad. According to Chekhov, the Garden of Eden, Jesus H. Christ. According to Chekhov, the Garden of Eden was located just outside of Moscow. Just outside of Moscow. What was Lieutenant Commander Scott's first name? What was Lieutenant Commander Scott's first name? It was Montgomery. Montgomery Scott. Good job there, Mr. York. In what episode did we hear the name Quatlus? In what episode did we hear the name Quatlus? What is Quatlus, you ask? Quatlus is a type of currency used by the providers. In what episode did we hear the name Quatlus? In what episode did we hear the name Quatlus, referring to a type of currency used by the providers? It was not the cloud minders. The gamesters of Triskelion. Quatlus was a type of currency used by the providers to bet on gladiatorial games between prisoners in the episode known as the Gamesters of Triskelion. Good job, Tony. Damn good job. What planet of ancient Romanesque type inhabitants are we introduced to in the episode Bread and Circuses? What ancient Romanesque type inhabitants what planet are we introduced to in the episode Bread and Circuses that houses inhabitants of an ancient Romanesque style? Never seen as many spiders as this year. Other day I slammed gas can on a 6-inch wolf spider. Following day, stepped on his wife with 100 babies in her back, got them all. We've been seeing a lot of them here in the house and on the house too, but I've not seen any up on the overhangs by the eaves troughs this year, which is really weird. That's where the big, really pretty ones build those very elaborate webs at, and I've not seen any of those this year, but we've seen a bunch of little teeny tiny things running around the outside of the house and every once in a while on a window, but normally the cats get them. What planet are we introduced to in the episode Bread and Circuses, where the inhabitants are a culture of ancient Romanesque people? this one here might be too hard. I might have to give the answer to this one. As a matter of fact, we will. It was 8924. 892 IV. Let's move on here. Why was Walter Koenig specifically brought on board to play Chekhov? Why was Walter Koenig specifically brought on board to play Chekhov? My shop rafters are just a web, looks like monsters and shit. You're right, Tony, because he looked like Davy Jones. You are absolutely positively correct, sir. He resembled Davy Jones, and he knew that would attract younger girls. Or was that the Addams Family? Either or, Jim. They both had webs everywhere. Lieutenant Uhura's name translates to what in English? Lieutenant Uhura's name translates to what in English? Yeah, Jim, damn you. Lieutenant Uhura's name translates to what in English? Which, by the way, a little secret about Uhura, her name was originally supposed to be Uhurta, but when she had that nice little talk with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the name Uhura was thrown out in the conversation, and that is when her name was technically changed. Take my wrench or delete me. Ain't happening, bud. Ain't happening. You've been with me so long you'll die with that wrench laid across your chest. Unless your wife gets a hold of it, then you might die with that wrench stuck in your chest. But I'm hoping it's just gently laid across your chest. Yep, she was going to quit before she met him. I actually just watched a video a couple days ago where she was talking about meeting him and the things he said to her about being a look into the future for African American women the world over. And it was after meeting him that she actually started recruiting for NASA and recruited people like Sally Ride to the space program. But what does Uhura mean in English? Or what does it translate to in English? Yeah, it's very sad she passed away. Walter Koenig, William Shatner, and Dang it, what's his name, guys? The one that played, yeah, the one that played Takei. Walter, George Takei, Walter Koenig, and William Shatner are the only ones left now. Everybody else has passed on. Uhura's name, yeah, Chekhov, which is Walter Koenig, George Takei, and William Shatner are the only ones from the original crew still alive. Everybody else has passed away. Up until last week, there was 4 left. Lieutenant Uhura's name translates to freedom in English. Freedom. In the episode Charlie X, what color was Yeoman Rand's nightgown when Charlie made her go away? In the episode Charlie X, what color was Yeoman Rand's nightgown when Charlie made her go away? Yes, she was in a nightgown. And Charlie told her to go away. What color was her nightgown? Oh yes, for a science fiction series, they broke a lot of barriers on that show. Nightgowns, actually seen on TV, interracial kisses, cursing on TV, even though it only happened a few times. Russians, Asians, and Americans all working together. They broke a lot of ground on that show. Well, Jim, what was it? It was pink. Yeoman Rand was wearing a pink nightgown on Charlie X. In the episode Immunity Syndrome, the creature is a one-celled life form about to what? In the episode Immunity Syndrome, the creature is a one-celled life form about to what? Yeah, Rand was pretty back then. It was about to split or divide, or what other word you want to use that falls under that definition. There were 2 episodes of the original series that mentioned Corbomite. There were 2 episodes of the original series that mentioned Corbomite. One was the Corbomite maneuver. What was the other? There are two episodes of the original series that mention Corbomite. One was the Corbomite maneuver. What was the other? I gotta drop a few more giant trees. So I'm trading my son to my neighbor in West Virginia this winter for a camper. Cooking without synthetics, Corbomite sandwiches. No. Balance of Terror is no, that's not right either. That sounds like a pretty good deal, Jim. Especially if you're not going to be using it anymore and you're not going to need it. I mean, it's nice making your own lumber and stuff like that, but if it's going to be sitting around, cluttering up, taking up space, you might as well trade it for something you're going to be using. And as often as you wind up in the doghouse, I see nothing wrong with the doghouse having wheels and a television and running water and a bathroom and something more comfortable than a blanket to sleep on a floor. I think a camper is a wonderful idea. Last time, there are two episodes of the original series that mention Corbomite. One was the Corbomite maneuver. What was the other? It was called The Deadly Years. The Deadly Years. In the episode Miri, the Enterprise locates a planet that looks like a duplicate of Earth. What do they find on the surface? Yep, the shed is for me, the camper for her. In the episode Miri, the Enterprise crew locates a planet that looks like a duplicate of Earth. What do they find on the surface? That is correct. No adults, only kids. No adults, only kids. We're down to 4 minutes. I think we can get one, maybe two more questions in. In the episode A Piece of the Action, Captain Kirk makes up a card game to distract his captors. What name did he give to the game? In the episode A Piece of the Action, Captain Kirk makes up a card game to distract his captors. What name did he give to the game? all you missed was me being an ass as usual. It was not poker. No, it was not Go Fish or Kiss. In the episode A Piece of the Action, Captain Kirk makes up a card game to distract his captors. What name did he give to the game? Yes, old man. It was not Spin the Bottle. He completely made this game up. He completely made the name up. I'm the guy who thought Help Is On the Way was a fun song. Love is on the way, I can see it in your eyes. Let's give it one more try tonight, baby. Love is on the way, I can see it in your eyes. Used to love that song. It's one of the better ballads that came out of the 80s. The game that Kirk created was called Fizbin. Fizbin. And that right there will do it, guys. No, help. It's about people who died in Katrina. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. I would definitely have to check that out. Jay, you have yourself a good evening too, my friend. Have a great weekend. We are down to, what, 2 weeks. I'll be shaking your hand for the first time, bud, and giving your wife a big old hug. Hope you don't mind. Hope you're not the jealous type. Don't like to get into arguments with my friends. The only reason I won't hug you is because you're too damn tall. I'll hug you right around your boobies. Everybody else, Tony, Jim, Carrie, Templar, love and light to y'all. Have a great evening. Everybody take care. Much love to everyone. I will be here Monday morning. I am not gonna make any promises of what my mental condition will be like after seeing my grandkids for the first time in 9 months, and then having to leave them after a day and a half. But I will be here. So you guys all have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. And I will see you guys Monday morning, 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. Y'all take care. Will do, Jan. Will do. Y'all take care.